Hi there, this is Northwest Tech Geek. I'm glad you could be with us this week. Now, I know this is a couple of days late. I am aware of that, but hopefully I will have everything sorted for next week, so it's on time, hopefully. But apart from that, what I want to do, I like to do a demo this, every week, just to show you different things that I've been learning. And in my degree, obviously, you know that there's the MU123, which is the maths module. Also, there is the TM111, which is the technology module. Which, after all, it is a tech qualification, but we need to have maths as part of the degree because, let's face it, maths is technology. Yeah, so basically, what have I been up to this week? Well, I've completed a ICMA, which is an interactive computer marked assessment. Also, I have been doing a bit of work on TM111. I'm actually ahead on that module, which is really good. Slightly behind on the MU123, but I am catching up quite well on that one as well. So, right, so this week, as I said, I'd like to do a demo each week. And as part of the TM111, there are three blocks. There's block block one, which is called Digital World. And that's about where technologies came from, how they were invented, some important figures within history regarding that as well. We look at, what bytes are, megabytes in different, sizes of storage and things like that. Now, I have finished block one now. I've sent my all my assessments with regards to that block already. Now, we're going on to block two, which is about problem solving. Now, when we look at problem solving in IT, we look at programs and coding. Okay. Now, when I first saw this, I was like, coding. Oh my God, I don't know a clue about it. But the OU is so inclusive and brilliant that they've chosen their programs that we use very carefully, which is great. We use a program called or a programming language to introduce us to coding and programming called Scratch. Now, for those of you who may already have heard of Scratch, now what Scratch is they use it in like primary and secondary schools to introduce kids to coding. But it isn't just for kids; it is for people like myself who are just learning coding for the first time. Now, what Open University have done is they've on top of Scratch is they've built their own sort of program. It's called OU Build. Okay, where what we do is we look at instead of actually physically writing a coding for with programs such as VS Code, which stands for Virtual Studio Code, that can be downloaded free of charge. I'll put a link in the description. But also, it gives like a visual representation of what coding should look like and how to program. So what we do is we look at the actual programming itself rather than the coding, which is great. Gives a visual representation. So what I'd like to do then is I would like to share with you, basically we're going to make a program in today's demo using OU Build. Okay. Now, if you just bear with me and I'll share my screen. Oh, just bear with me, but there we go. Okay, this is what OU Build looks like. Okay, it's great. It's very simple. So just to tell you what each area does. Right, this area here is the UI, or also known as the user interface. Okay, if we maximize that, it just has this little area here. It's got a green flag and a red stop sign, basically. Okay. Right, now this is where we select our backdrops, we can select our sprites and other bits and bobs as well. And in this area here is where the magic happens, all the programming. Okay. Right, so it's quite basic, 3 sections. Okay. Now, if I just tell you what each bits are, so if you imagine that you are in a theatre. Okay, the reason why I say this is because Right, basically, this, the UI or the user interface is, or the background is known as the backdrop or the stage. So stage is basically where the play happens, doesn't it? So this is where the user interacts with the program. The backdrop is like the background. It's another name for background. Sprite is basically like your characters. Yeah. Or objects on the screen. So it could be a picture of a laptop, it could be anything basically. Then we have costumes. So say for example, we've got I'm going to use an owl as an example. So if I go to the owl, okay, just bear with me 1 second. It would just be this one here. I know it is taking a little while to upload. Okay, so let's just go on to owl. Okay, say that's the owl there. Okay. And then say that wing is there and the other one is there, and this leg here is behind and that leg is front. Okay, it's still the same sprite, but it's classed as a costume. So this is a costume, and then if he puts the other foot in front of each other and puts that wing there and that wing behind, then that is another costume. Yeah. So that's costumes. Trying to think, is there anything else that I need to mention? Sprites, costumes, stage, backdrop. No, don't think so. Okay, and you can add things like sounds on there as well. So, for example, you've got this sound here. Okay, now that is obviously the sound of an owl. So yeah, that is what we will be working with today. So not the owl. I don't really want the owl. So what we're going to do first of all is we are going to pop in a backdrop. Yeah, okay. So what we're going to be looking at today, what program are we going to create? What we're going to do is we are going to create a program for a box office. Okay. Now, what the box office does is it sells tickets, doesn't it? So we're going to have two types of tickets, full price and concessionary price tickets, okay? So what we're going to do, we need a backdrop appropriate for a theatre box office, okay? So let's go and have a look at a backdrop. Okay, it's an indoor place, a theatre, isn't it? There we go. We've got a pink one or a green one. We're going to choose pink, stuff it. We're going to have a pink backdrop. Okay, and then lo and behold, there we go. We have our pink backdrop. Okay, now in order for the play or the user interface to work, we need a person or a character, yeah? So also known as a sprite, okay? So what we're going to do is we're going to have a new sprite, and it's going to be a thing, isn't it? I'm going to have a laptop because, let's face it, box office uses computers to issue their tickets, don't they? So what we're going to do is we're going to choose the laptop here. Click OK. Okay. So what I'll do is what you can do with this laptop as well is you can hold on a sec. Let's just info. And you've got things like the info. So what direction it is, rotational style, drag in the player. So yes, we can drag it in the player, but actually we're not going to drag it because obviously we don't want the user to drag the laptop anyway. It's just going to be just down here like so. Okay. Right. What you can do as well is, I don't know, let's just make this bigger. So if we've got the select tool there and we just click that, and all you do is just make it bigger. Yeah, there we go. So, and then let's just drag that there. So that looks a lot bigger, doesn't it? Okay. Right. So that is our laptop. Right. So, so when we're looking at a program, there are various things we need to think about. So the issue is we need a program that issues tickets for full price and concessionary price tickets. Now, first of all, what is important is if we need to actually decide what elements we're going to have in this program. Okay, so to do that, there are two types of things we need to look at. There are things called constants and variables. Okay, so constants are things in a program that does not change. Okay, and it's important to have them. So what? So we know that a ticket is going to be, let's say, a full price ticket is going to be £8, and a concessionary price ticket is going to be £6.50. Okay, so what we're going to do is make a variable. Now, in this program, and it is common standard practice for programming, is that constants are written in capital letters. Okay, so let's say a variable name. We are going to have price of full, yeah, so price of full ticket, yeah, so full price ticket. So that's one constant, okay? Okay, so, and there, now this here is called a watcher. So as you're testing your program, you can actually see that it's coming out with the correct values. And if it isn't, then also we need to fix the program and how it works, okay? Another point to point out as well is what an algorithm is. Now, algorithm, in short, is basically steps that you take in programming in order to solve the problem. That is what an algorithm is. Okay, right. So first of all, and that's what we're doing is we're creating our algorithm now. So full price ticket is say £8. But we don't put that in yet. We just need to put our variables and constants in. So make another variable, and it is a constant. So a constant is going to be concessionary. So it's going to be a price. Sorry, price of the concessionary ticket. If you noticed, I haven't actually put any spaces as such. I've just put a hyphen instead of a space. It's important not to put space in between because programming doesn't like spaces, really, unless it's part of a string. And what a string is, just to let you know, is it could be anything. It could be a sentence. It could be a number, but we'll go into that later on. Okay. So price is a concession of the concessionary ticket is what we want there. Okay. Right now there's only two constants in this program, but we need variables. Okay. So another variable would be so how so I'll put how many concessionary tickets. Yeah, that's one. And we could do another one for how many full priced tickets. Yeah, that's another. Right, then we need to have another variable that says total cost of concessionary tickets. Yeah, and then we need another one saying total cost of the full price ticket. Okay, and then we're going to have one last one saying, but grand total. Okay. Right, they are our variables. If you see, we've got 5 variables and 2 constants. Okay, variables are in small letters, constants are in capitals. Okay, now we're going on to be making our program now. Okay, so what do we want it to do? So we are wanting, when they start the program, which is often by this green flag here. So we need to put an event in. So when the green flag is ticked, okay, or clicked, shall we say. What we want it to do is say the program has been used previously. It will remember them values even if you close the program down. So what we want it to do is when we click that, we want to clear every single value of any variable. Okay. So what we want it to do is we need data, and it will be set. So how many? There's 5 variables, isn't there? So put set 5 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, and then obviously we want the grand total to be set to space. Okay, the reason why I put space is because we want it to be set to 0. Oh, actually, let's leave it at 0. Actually, yeah. We want the next one is cost of full price ticket to be set to 0 as well. We want the concessionary to 0. We want the full price ticket to be 0, and we want how many concessionary tickets to be 0 as well. Okay. What that'll do is when they start, everything can be reset to 0, but also we want constants. Make sure that the constants are constant by setting the full price ticket to, we said £8, didn't we? So let's put 8. Okay. And also we're going to set the concessionary price ticket to £6.50, let's say. Okay. So put 6.5 on there. Okay. Then what I want it to do is I want then to start the program. You know, fair enough, we've started the actual program, but to actually start the actual transaction, I want this computer to say, please press spacebar in order to start. Okay, so sensing. So it says ask what your name is and wait. Okay, but actually, no, we're not going to do that. We're going to go under looks and say for 2 seconds, hello for 2 seconds. We don't want it to say hello. We want it to say, please press the space bar to start. Okay, right. So what we're going to do is we're going to test this code. Okay, so if we click this, yeah, if you notice, the price of the full ticket is 8. The price of the concession ticket is 6.5, which is great. All these are 0, and it came up. If you notice there, please press spacebar to start. This bit of the program is working. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put that to one side, because we do not need to worry about that bit of code for now. Okay. But I am leaving the watchers here only because when we come to do our transaction, I want us to see what, depends what we've put in, depends on what, see what it comes out of. Because if there's an error, we need to look at the watchers, see where it is, and then fix it. Okay. So, right, so now it says, please press space bar to start. So we need another event, don't we? So when space is pressed, yeah, what I want it to do is to say, how many tickets do you require? Yeah, so sensing. So let's say, so how many full priced tickets, how many full price tickets are required? Yeah? Excuse me. Right, okay. And then, so we want, what we want is it to populate under this variable. Yeah, how many full price tickets? It'll say however many. So what we want to do is we get our data, which is where it is, and we will put set, yeah, the how many full price tickets to the answer that was said, yeah. So to the answer, okay. So how many full price tickets? Well, it's the answer to this, okay. So let's test that bit of code. It will say to us, press that, press spacebar start. I've pressed spacebar. How many full price tickets required? I want 3. Enter. Now, as you can see, that is now populated with the number 3. Okay, brilliant. That works. Now we want it to ask how many concessionary price tickets. So we want, let's put the ask again. So ask how many concessionary priced tickets are required. Okay. We want it to ask that. Then we need to do the same again. So let's go to data and set the basically we want to set the this one so it comes up here. Okay. So we want set the concessionary price tickets, how many concessionary price tickets, to the answer that was just given. Okay. So what we need to do now, let's break that up and let's just test that. So it'll say to us how many. Hold on, let's just stop the code a second. Right, it'll do it again. It'll say how many concession price tickets are required. Let's say 8. Okay, not that we would, but yeah, right. Then let's see how many concession price tickets. 8. There, that's all cleared. Yeah, right. So that's fine. We can join that code onto here because we know that this bit works, and we know that this bit works. Let's join them. Okay. Now this is where the tricky bit comes in. What we want it to do now is we want to add the we need to do some multiplications, okay? So some mathematics here. Put some mathematics in the code. So let's go to operators. Now, as you can see, we have here add, take away, times, and divide. That's what that means. And we will be using this little function here, join, and it says hello world, but you can join anything really. Okay, they're basically 2 strings or 2 2 numbers or something like that. That's what it does. Right, so what we want it to do is so total cost of concession tickets and total cost of full tickets. Okay, this is why I've set that variable. For the mathematics. So total cost of the full tickets first of all, because that's what was asked first. So if we go to our set. Total cost of full price tickets, actually not the concession, right, full price tickets. Then what I want it to do is I wanted to do a what do you call it, a mathematical, some maths basically. So what we've done, we want it to times, yeah? So let's pop that in the 0. So that would appear like that, okay? Then, because we have already set how many full tickets, and we've already set how many concessionary tickets, yeah? The variables, we've already set them now. So all we need to do is go to data rather, and we can put how many full price tickets, yeah? Which in this case is 3, okay, times the cost of the full price ticket, yeah? Which is, yeah? So that's what that will do, okay? Now, what we want to do is we want to do the same with the concessionary tickets. And then so we set the total cost of the concessionary tickets to, let's put in the operator, which is a join. No, it doesn't. It's a times. Yeah, and we can then go total cost concessionary tickets. So it's how many concessionary tickets. Yeah, we need that figure, which is here. And then we want the cost of price of concessionary ticket, which is £6.50. So effectively, we are doing 8 times 6.5. Okay. Now it is important that we, before we test the program, to do the math ourselves, so we are aware of, that it's working correctly. Okay. So if we go, let's get our calculator up. I'm useless at maths, but yeah. So we know that how many full price tickets. So how many full price tickets is 3. So let's put that in first. So 3. And then full ticket price is 8. Yeah. So we just times by 8. So that is 24. Okay. So this one in full price tickets should come up with 24. Okay. Right now, also let's do the other. So how many concessionary tickets? How much is 8? So 8 times, and then the cost of the concessionary ticket is 6.5. So let's put 6.5, and that should come up with 52. Okay. Right. So let's run this code. Right. So how many full price tickets are required? Let's say. So we said 3, didn't we? Yeah. So 3, how many concessionary tickets? 8. Let's stick with the same values because we've already done the math of them. So there we go. So total cost of concessionary ticket is 52, and total cost of full price ticket is £24. Okay. Then what we want it to do is we want to set this variable here. This is the one left out. Okay. So we've done how many and total cost of both. We need to have a grand total one. So we need to put set the grand total to, let's have another operator. This time it's an addition, okay? Let's go back to data. So we want the grand total equals the cost of the total cost of the full price ticket plus the total cost of the concessionary ticket. Yeah. And then we want it to say, so let's say, now this is where we have our join operator. We'll be using that now. Okay. So let's pop that in there. Say, because obviously we're having two lots of things here. So we could put the total cost of the tickets is, let's put pound sign there, okay? And then it'll be the grand total, yeah? So we do go back to data and we drag that across into there. Okay, so let's test this code out. Okay, so how many full price tickets are required? We said 3. How many concessionary price tickets are required? 8. Okay, and let's do this. Make sure this is correct. So 52 plus 74. So 52 plus 70. Sorry, 20 plus 24. Sorry, not 74. Is 76. So the grand total is correct, and it did come up there, didn't it? With you know, the total cost of tickets is whatever pounds. Okay. Right, okay, so that is how you make a program. Right, now let's run this, okay? So let's just stop that coding and then make it full screen. Well, actually, then what we do is we run it with the watchers, then we run it without, okay? So let's stop the code and run it again, okay? Have you noticed these have reset to 0? Yeah? So press spacebar to start, it's saying, okay? So we press the spacebar. How many full price tickets are required? 2, let's say this time, okay? How many concessionary price tickets are required? We want, say, 1. We only want 1, okay? So the total cost of the ticket is £22.50, okay? Actually, we may get that to wait a little bit longer, so the advisor is able to, or the box office clerk is able to, you know, remember, yeah? So let's have a look. So how many concessionary price tickets? 1. So concessionary price is £6.50. So the total cost of concessionary tickets is £6.50 there, okay? Then we know that the full price ticket is 8. Okay, how many full price tickets? 2. So 2 times 8 is 16. Okay, so 16 plus 6.5 is 22.5. We know that that program works. So all we need to do then to get the program to run well is, or you know, less chunky, I'm going to get rid of all watchers bar 1. Okay. Okay. I'm going to leave the grand total up there. Okay. The reason being for that is because obviously it may say that it's, and then it just disappears. But also I'm going to change this to 5 as well, so it stays on screen a bit longer. Okay. Now we know that you know, it says the total cost of tickets is blah blah, but we also want it to just be stayed there. So you know, so if it does disappear and the advisor or box office clerk does forget, then it's there. Okay. There are other things we can do with the program, which we're not going to discuss in this lesson, this video blog. But what you can do is get them to remember things. So that's for one customer. Say you had another customer but wanted it included in this transaction. This is where list variables come in. But obviously, we're not going to go with that today. Right, so let's run the program without the watches. Okay, so let's stop the code and enter it again. So grand total is back to 0. Fantastic. So press spacebar to start. So I press spacebar. How many full price tickets are required? So let's say 6. Okay, got a bit of a group going to the theatre. How many concession price tickets are required? We don't really want any concession tickets because they're not eligible, say. So, and it'll say the total cost of the ticket is £48, and there we go. The grand total 48. Okay, that we know now this program works. Okay, so that is how we make a program in OU Build. Okay, I hope that has been great for you. If there's any more demos that you want to see or anything, then please let me know. Pop it in the comments below. Also, don't forget to subscribe. And again, apologize this one was late, but I look forward to seeing you all soon on next week's next week's vlog episode, and hopefully see you soon.